Okay, let's discuss agent metrics streaming to COSO data lake. This can be done in two ways. One of them is out of the box. Basically, it means when you deploy an agent on a remote host, what it does, it delivers some metrics out of the box automatically into your OBM, and you utilize those metrics in order to send them to COSO because you already have them. Now, for a containerized OBM, it's pretty much automatic. You just need to enable it. And there's a whole nice procedure that deals with this kind of approach. And I can show you the specific document. We'll go to the install over here. And in post installation tasks, once you configure your OpsBridge reporting content and your COSO data lake, you will go to configure collection services for agent metrics. And by going into one of the containers, you run a shell script that basically enables it. So let me show you the command. And the command is obsb content service start sh, start collection types, OA, collection name, and then you say -o. You don't need to specify the OTB metric collection because it's a containerized setting basically. But we don't need to do that at all because there is another option and it deals with the policy itself, which you can deploy on your remote agent. And this policy is a little bit better because it allows you more frequent access into this data. And also it allows you to control what kind of things you really want to see because out of the box doesn't include everything that you need, and the one that you configure has more than that. Now, our current situation is we have the scope CPU, for example, is one of the, basically all the scopes can come from agents out of the box. Some of them are not. For example, scope application is not included, although it's required for some of the reports. And I can show you by running the query. So the hosts that we collect data for, those are the hosts. Some of them are internal, and this is our target host. It already got some data. Not all of it though, so we will do the policy approach. So first thing first, let me show you the before and after. We go and do all the policy minus list. You see the policy is not deployed anywhere here. Config files, everything is missing. It has a lot of other monitors, but it doesn't have the streaming. So the way you do it, you go to configuration. If this is your first time, there is an extra step. You go to metric streaming configuration, right? And if this is your first time, you go to 1.0, you modify it, you edit the policy template. And here you can actually go and say, you know what, I'm going to take AOS 1 and I want to load system metrics to see what is streamed. And I see that application and processes are not streamed. So I'm going to select them. And later I'm going to add this receiver over here. This is the one-time configuration. Basically, when you save and close, you don't need to do it anymore. So let me do just that. And it says template version doesn't work because I'm touching one of the oldest ones. So let me do it real quick on a new version. And here we have all of those metrics selected. Notice that this is 5-second streaming. We'll select a COSO data lake receiver, save and close. Let's see if we have a contradiction. No, we do not. And we will have another version appearing over here, version 1.3. So we will deploy this on our AOS. In the meanwhile, let's make a small experiment with our COSO data tables. As I believe that scope underscore application doesn't have the AOS host, not yet, because we want to see the before and after. So we'll go to scope application, we'll run the query to see if there are distinct hosts. Okay, it's running select probably. Okay, and probably the host name doesn't appear in this table. No, it does. So we don't have AOS 1 here. Fantastic. So we'll go back to our policy and we're going to deploy it on our AOS 1. Just give it a second to run. All right. This is what happens when you connect with RBDP to very, very far away from your home. Okay, and we click on finish. There's our assignment. It is done. Let's rerun the last command. Did it execute? It was just too fast. No. OV policy -L. List the policies. And let's see if we have it. We should have it somewhere there. Okay, sysmetrics streaming. The policy is assigned, and we can expect it to stream policies every 5 minutes. Now, I'm not really sure how far it would get to this table. Oh, there it is. It was pretty much immediate. So it's a 5-second thing. It takes just 5 seconds to get this data inside, and there we have it. So now AOS 1 would be included in all of the aggregation reports, and this is how you get your streaming policy. So now let's try and access this data from our performance dashboards. So I'm going to create a new dashboard, and we are going to say, well, you know what, data source is COSO data lake, class name, going to be global, you know, it's called global, doesn't matter. Metric name would be global active CPU. Okay, so we get only a fraction of data. As you see, it wasn't collected previously. So we'll add another metric and we'll say COSO data lake, scope global, no, not CPU, scope global. And we'll go and say, you know what, not CPU, I want to see global memory. Where is it? Global memory available. Okay, and we have a fraction of it here. So back to dashboard. And there we have it. Now let's adjust our time window just a little bit slighter, last 5 minutes. Yeah, now here they are. So every 5 minutes, it would add a data point inside. How cool is that? Now, you might say, why is it useful? Why do I need it? Except for out-of-the-box reports, of course, and aggregations and everything else. Well, let's say I have several operations bridge managers, right? Several OBMs, and they have CI exchange, but the agent is connected to only one of them. You only want to have to see the agent metrics without getting to the other OBM, whatever your reason is. Let's say you have synchronization between production and staging, right? Well, in that case, you just go and collect the data from COSO Data Lake instead of relying on an agent that doesn't connect to your specific OBM. So this way you can have access to multiple data points or from multiple data sources from your OBM even without sharing the agents. And this concludes our agent metrics.